Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Megazord from Mighty Morphing Power Rangers. I got this at Target a couple weeks ago now. So a big thank you to Delaney's Collection for hooking me up with this one. He let me know that it was there and I went and I found it. So I wasn't initially stoked about this. I did think the prototype didn't look that great, and honestly it didn't really change all that much. But after playing with it for a little bit, the day that I got it, I really liked it. I was surprised to see how much I liked it. So obviously the paint isn't there. It's missing a lot of paint, but you can always get some custom stickers to put in it. I know there's supposed to be a listing on Amazon that has the full set for about 40 bucks, and you can find these on Amazon. I'll put links in the description. But anyway, let's get started. So I think it's fair to compare this one to the 2010 mold or the Legacy Megazord. This one would be closer to the 2010 mold. The one over there, the one in front, that one is the Legacy one. So the difference between the standard 2010 one and the Legacy one is that the Legacy one had a lot more paint, and they had nicer stickers, they were shinier, and they were also made out of metal. But it was a new mold, it was different from the original mold. Anyway, let's get started. So these come in 3 different sets. You get the Tyrannosaurus, which comes with the Power Sword. You get the second set, which comes with the Mastodon and the Pterodactyl. And you get the last set, which has the Tiger Zord, or the Saber-toothed Tiger Zord, and the Triceratops. So that would be the last set. So besides that, that's pretty much it. Each one is 15 bucks. If you get all of them, it's a total of $15. So, or sorry, if you get all 3 for 15, it's a total of 45 bucks plus taxes. So it was a little bit pricey, and I did find that last figure from Beast Morphers that I needed. So yeah. Alright, let's get started. Let's start off with Tyrannosaurus. So he comes with a sword, the Power Sword. It's a little, oh my goodness, oh my god, I keep knocking everything over. This is the second time I'm recording. This is the first time I didn't fully record everything, and kind of just recorded the first half, and then I had to re-record it. So the Power Sword here is a little bit plain. There's a lot of hollow plastic, and it's kind of grayish compared to the Legacy one, which is a nice chrome. It's still plastic, and I think this one's more fragile, so this one's more likely to break than this one. So I would still be careful. And we have the Tyrannosaurus. So the Tyrannosaurus looks pretty good. I can't complain. He stands a little too bit upright, and I think his center of gravity is a little bit weird because I can't really stand them all that well. So yeah, the ankles are a little bit weird, but he stands pretty much upright. The tail doesn't touch the floor. I don't remember. I think the original one did, but the Legacy one doesn't either. Okay, so you can see that he has a more forward-leaning posture. You can see that they also have the nubs on the knees, the pegs. So this one's the sword builder ports. This one just has pegs to go on these two. The sides of it looks good. All of the red paint, there's a lot of red plastic. It does feel pretty brittle. It's surprisingly light, so this is a lot lighter than this. So you can get a workout with the Legacy one. The hands move forward and back. The tail is hollow. There's no paint, which is a shame because this one did. This is sculpted and painted, so it's not a sticker. And then the feet look good. If I had a lot more paint or stickers, I think it would look amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The only thing I don't like about this is the head. So this one is made to look more like the prop that they used that was transforming during the transformation sequence, and it looks a lot more like the original toy. This one, it doesn't look all that accurate, and it has far less teeth than this one or the original one had. But it does kind of remind me of the Soul of Chogokin one, if that's a little bit strange. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The chest, this is sculpted, the T for T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus. And that's it. There's not a lot to say about it. So that would be the first set that you would get $15 at Target or on Amazon. Then you have the Mastodon. Let's go over the Mastodon. So these two are pretty much statues. This one has stickers on the sides and on the insides. It doesn't have a sticker up at the top. It's not sculpted either. The head is black. I think it should be gray, like a little bit darker. Or sorry, lighter color gray. The trunk doesn't move like the original one. Neither does the legacy one. Where's the legacy one? And it's missing a lot of stickers. So there's this line. It is sculpted there. I do think the head looks better on this one. This one sits a little bit too low, and it's a little too large. This is a little bit bigger. And there's not much else. The feet are hollow on the inside, and the base of the feet are also hollow. This one, it isn't. And obviously this one's heavier because it has metal. This one is a lot lighter because it doesn't have metal. So that's it for that. Then the next one, so I'm trying to do this fast, because otherwise I'll spend here talking forever, is Pterodactyl. You get the two little cannons. They're supposed to help her stand up like that. You can take them off, and then you can turn the head so it looks like it's flying, or she's flying. The wings look good, they're a lot bigger. The body feels really light. It kind of feels like a bootleg toy, especially because of the stickers. This is painted, so that's nice. The head, I think it looks pretty good. I think the proportions for this one are good. But that's about it. Besides that, there's not much else to talk about. These cannons look pretty good. I do like these. They're a lot smaller too, compared to the legacy one. The legacy one looks a little bit too wide. The body's too big. The wings aren't big enough. I think this one, the proportions for this just look a lot better. This one, the head is metal here. It does have the metallic, shiny plastic. I think it was sculpted underneath the sticker here, because I remember applying the stickers. And that's about it. That's the second set. Another $15. Now you have 30. And then last but not least, it's this set. So Saber-toothed tiger. Looks okay. So there's a couple of things I don't like about this. I think the proportions look fine. I think it does look a little bit more like the prop, but this one looks more like the toy, and it has a lot more paint and stickers. One thing that bothers me about this one is right here at the hip. So if you look here, this has a little panel that covers it. This one doesn't, and it makes it look really, really strange. Besides that, I think the feet are a little bit strange, the back ones. The forelegs are fine. But that's about it. The tail is shorter. The fangs are a lot longer on this one. This one has eyeliner, it has more paint. I think I like this one more. But one thing I didn't mention is the M here for Mastodon, or Mammoth. This one's supposed to have a T somewhere. I don't remember. I think it was supposed to be in the back here. I know the Soul of Chogokin one has it. This one is supposed to be Saber Tiger for Saber-toothed tiger. Yeah, here you can see it, Saber Tiger. Sorry, Saber Tiger. On this one, Saber Tiger. Yes. Okay. And then, last but not least, it is Triceratops. So I do really like this Triceratops, just because it has a nicer face than the legacy one. So this one, again, looks more like the toy, the original one. This one has a little bit better proportions, kind of looks more like the prop that they used. Has sleeker face, longer horns. They're soft plastic, but they are still pointy. The body looks fine. I think it is missing a little bit of detail on the threads here, so there's a little bit if you can see it, but it doesn't have it right here. It has the paint that it needs, has the paint at the top, it doesn't have the sticker here, much like this one, and it's not sculpted. This one is sculpted, but it doesn't have the right sculpt. How about this one? Nope, doesn't have the right sculpt. It's fine. You can see the sticker up at the front. This one doesn't have that, but it does have a little bit of detail. This bothers me a lot. I wish that was a separate piece, like the original one. This one did the same thing, so I don't know. I don't know what they did. I don't have the mini plow one. I wish I did. So I can compare it to that. But I think it looks pretty good. This one's obviously heavier. That one is not. So one cool thing that I noticed about this is that in Japan, for Zyuranger, they sold these as a full set, and they sold them as 3 separate sets. The first set had Tyrannosaurus and the sword, the power sword. The second set, or third set, I don't remember the numbers for it, but the other set had Mastodon and Pterodactyl in one box, and then the last set had Triceratops and Saber-toothed tiger in one box. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's combine them to the Dino Tanker. I don't remember what the name was in Power Rangers, or I don't even know if that was the name in Zyuranger. But you fold the tail up here, that's easy. You fold the feet or the legs, and you turn the fangs up like that, and you pull this up that way. And then for the T-Rex, you have to bend them down a little bit. So I try to not bend them down too much, just enough right there, and move them forward. So this has to pop in like that. So it's a little bit tricky. So you want to make sure that it goes in all the way, not like that. So if you still see a little bit of red, it needs to go all the way. And it is a tight fit, although it's a little bit hard to do. There we go. Like that. Alright, then you fold these up like that. Oh, by the way, he can't open his mouth. And he does have the cannons, but you can see the face of the Megazord there. This one, it was just a sticker that you put, and the face is covered. Alright, now this one. The Mastodon gave me a little bit of trouble. So you take off the head, you pull these back, and you extend that. That's the easy part. Now the hard part is opening them. But when I recorded this last, I realized that it wasn't as hard to do after you've done it a bunch of times. So now, it's a lot easier to do, but the first time I didn't want to open it, almost felt glued, and I didn't want to force it because I didn't want to break it. Okay, so after you do that, you fold these forward and you put it right there on the back. So because it is pretty stiff here, it is a lot easier to use for animation. For these, you connect right there. That, and then you fold the wings here. Oh, I forgot to do something. So the Mastodon, the head, goes right there. And then you open the mouth, and then you fold that, put it there. The feet of the Mastodon do come off, but you can put them right again. So that's the Dino Tanker, and the original toy, you could use the tail to roll it. It had a little wheel at the back. Like I've said before, I used to have the original Megazord, but it was a bootleg. But it was a really good bootleg. But yeah, it rolled. I remember those days, but it doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. But it looks good for what it is, and it is really light. You can pick it up, unlike the the Legacy one. So I'll put it right there. So let's do the Megazord here. So we fold this one like that. Let's fold up the teeth first. That way. Good. Fold this up. That's fine. Tail. Fold that up. Like that. I hope I have the right. Yes, I do. Okay. And then for the feet here, fold a little bit, not too much. These are a lot easier to pop in. But because it's made of metal, doesn't hold the position as well. So let's fold these hands up because I forget to do that sometimes. Let's turn the head up so I can put the shield right there. It's a little bit loose now, so it doesn't take it as well as it used to. Here, then we open the legs here. We fold that up, straighten it out, open here. So this is a lot more loose, so not really good for animation. It does have ratchets, so it holds the position better, especially because it is made out of metal. Alright, and then, last but not least, we have the Pterodactyl. It attaches in the back, like that. These go right there, and ta-da! So obviously, neither of them have wheels, and if you tried picking this up, it holds a little bit, but I wouldn't recommend it because I don't want it to fall. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot. There's not a lot to this. It didn't really appear in the show all that often, neither in Ranger or Mighty Morphing. Now, Megazord transformation initiated. So we take these off. We take off this. See, that fell off, but it's easy to put back in. So these cannons go from the hands back to the feet of the Mastodon, so the forelegs right there. You fold this back like that on both sides. My arm's getting tired. Like that. Turn this down. Fold the tail. It clips right there. There's a little crevice for the tail so that it clips onto the back. And then you fold these like that. Fold that. You stand them up like that. Pull the hands down. Close the mouth. Make sure everything is nice and open. You open the flap here. Come on, open, 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 open. All right. Give me a second. One thing I did forget to mention, I'm gonna try to cut it from the original, the first time I did this. The waist has a swivel, the thigh has swivels, the knees are pretty articulated, the feet go forward pretty far, and they open up. So I'll try to add that in, so you can have a better look at it. And then you fold the head down, close that. Then for the pterodactyl, you open the wings, you fold the head in, fold the wings again, and it attaches right there. And then you open the head, that, and you have the Megazord. And then if you want, ready, watch this, it opens its arms, it can fold at the elbows, and they can go pretty far, forward and back. This one attaches here from the handle, right there. And that holds its position pretty well. And if you have the power sword, which you should have because it comes with Tyrannosaurus, you attach it right there, and you have the Dino Megazord. Let's combine the other one first, and then we'll get into the comparisons. Actually, let me do the review for this one first, and then I'll do that. Alright, so this one I really like. The reason why it's because the proportions are vastly superior to the 2010 mold, and it looks 100 times better than the original one did, just because that one looked boxy. This one has longer limbs, has skinnier legs, is a better overall posture, and the hip articulation allows him to have a wider stance. And the thigh swivel also allows it to move around a little bit better. The only problem is that as much of articulation that it has, for example, the legs go forward really far, which no other basic Megazord has ever had. Only the deluxe ones, like the Mini Plow one, yes it is deluxe, or the Soul of Chogokin, which even, I don't think it can hold its position very well, and I wouldn't play around with that $300 thing. But for 45 bucks or even 30 bucks, this is really good. So this looks amazing. I know a lot of people don't like it, I know that a lot of people do like it, but I would say it's one of the better Megazords that we have, especially now, because finding the 2010 one or even the Legacy one will be harder to find for a good price. So let's combine this one. So I already took the Pterodactyl off. Let's take off the Mastodon shield. Put these in the back, right there. Good. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Ow. Pinch. Alright, see, this is what I mean. It's hard. Alright, fold that. Fold this forward. Fold that forward. Fold. Oh, Jesus. Alright, see, it doesn't hold its position very well. Alright, so there we have, we open this up. We pull this down. We close that. We put this over here. And then we open and ta-da! Then that forward. That here is hard to put in. The hand. Alright, hold on. I need to turn it around. Like that. Perfect. Oh, hold on. I think Titanus or the Dragon Zord came with knee braces, so you can attach here, and he doesn't lean as forward. Mine is a first edition one, so it is very likely to fall over. The second ones, the ones that came out later, did not have that problem. But you can see this one is a lot taller. It does have, actually the proportions are pretty good, but this one just looks so much better. If it had better paint and better overall quality, I think this would be really good. The plastic feels really brittle, but you can move this around pretty easily and you can play around with it, especially because it's a toy. So it's not really a collector's item, but it can be, especially if you get the decals that you can replace it with. Mine had a damaged decal right here when I took it out of the box, so I'm gonna use this one to paint and just make better. So both of them, one thing that they don't have is this doesn't fold down, which I wish it did. This one, it's the same way, it doesn't fold down. But yeah, this one is a lot heavier, and I wouldn't play around with this one just because of how heavy it is. It was pretty expensive, and it's going to be hard to find a replacement. Besides that, this one is great. I put it up with the rest of my MMPR stuff from Hasbro, and I think it's a good addition to the collection, especially for the price point where it is fairly affordable. I know it's a little bit hard to find, and the articulation is pretty good. I know some people are removing the feet and the shins in order to give it better knee articulation. The thigh swivel works here, the hips open up here. It's a shame that the knees don't really work. And the waist, the way the Pterodactyl is positioned here, allows for a little bit of waist rotation, but it's not that great. It's the same thing with the Soul of Chogokin one because of the T-Rex's tail. So that's pretty much it. I wish they would release a 6-inch scale Megazord for the Lightning collection that looks like the suit. I think that would be a good idea to have. Besides that, this one, the reason why it can't kick forward is because the Pterodactyl sits a little bit too low on the front of the thighs of the T-Rex. But yeah, obviously some of the proportions are a little bit different. Like here, the side of the thighs for the T-Rex is a lot bigger on this one. Here, it's a lot smaller just because it allows a better range. And overall, I think it's great. Once I started posing it with other figures, I thought, I kind of felt bad that I was giving Hasbro such a hard time with this one, because I almost considered not getting it, but I'm glad I did. So if you see one, I highly recommend it. It should be available on Amazon and Target in person. I don't think there's a listing online. If there is, I will post it in the video description. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you check out some of my other videos. So I'll try to work on more stuff. Okay? Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.